Welcome back, everyone. We'll get started with the next presenter. I'm going to keep the introductions brief. You have them in the website, very detailed abbreviations. Agnes Vorbrodt-Schurma is the Chief Executive Officer of the Polish Green Building Council, is teaching at Harvard some very interesting courses on sustainable design, and just like to bring you to the stage now. Thanks.
Today I will focus on Poland, on my country. At the beginning, let me just share our current financial situation. And there has been a great time for Poland, and despite the fact that we all feel a little bit of the word crisis impacting building industry, our country is actually doing quite good. And it's the most promising new market in the CE region. Poland is very popular among foreign investors, and it's also the biggest consumer market in Europe. We have the crucial location, and we are in the center of CE region, also in geographical center of Europe. And also one of the last quotes of our President Kaczynski was that our financial results are actually putting us at position 18 in the worldwide list of all of the countries. So basically, we are almost making we are actually making the G20. And at this picture, we are having our Prime Minister, Donald Tusk, presenting our economical results. And as we can see, we are actually not suffering the recession, and Poland is the only country in Europe with a positive GDP growth. And at the moment, definitely there's a lot of reasons why we are doing so tremendously well, but amongst them there's a few. And taking up the equation specific situations in Ukraine, Greece, or even Spain, as European country, we are, for example, not much connected with the global market because most of our trade and exports is actually with our neighboring countries. That's why we feel it's really critical to focus on the region, on the CE region. And secondly, our currency is also not that dependent with euro yet. And also looking at the map, we see that the war situation is actually happening on the perimeters of the region versus on the inside. And therefore, our geographical location is quite positive. And even though historically we were in between two very strong countries with very strong political ambitions. So basically, our location is very good for exports. We can reach 500 million of European consumers. And also, we are located in the historic Amber Route and Silk Route, which is northeast and southwest. And also, we are becoming the central intersection of major European highways at the moment. We can easily describe Poland as the largest CE country. And Poland is one of the benefits of actually being in the EU is achievement of a very large amount of funds from the EU, which Poland is very extremely well using. Also, Poland is creating those special economic zones, which are very important for our development. And our economic growth is higher than projected, and also we are the CE largest construction site, and we are getting ready for Euro 2010. We are also 2012, and we are also a country of great people, and some of them broke the enigma, and also they launched the first manual logarithmic patterns. They were being ancestors of computers, and also some of these you probably know. So I think after so many years, nobody's holding us back anymore, and neither through political nor economical dependencies. And from sustainable viewpoint, we have to admit that this was a show-off of our financial strength and of the region. But as a trained environmental management specialist, I don't like to look only at the economical GDP factor, but also, let me tell you why. We find that there's a great role for us as the PLGBC to provide knowledge and rather focus on at least the triple responsibility, which is economy, environment, and social, and make our position durable and being sustainable actually by sustaining the good economic results. And we would like to avoid this crazy constant growth and traditional economies are actually literally panicking when there's a 1 or 2 point drop in the GDP growth. However, the news here is that there's no proven mechanism for constant growth in the nature. And so how about work on the stability of the result rather than the constant growth here? And sustaining and working on sustaining the same economic results, not in just next year, but in the next decade. And let me just mention something that probably most of you know. The built environment is the largest industrial sector. And buildings use tremendous amount of resources, and they also produce, because of that, a lot of waste and a lot of emissions. And we use a lot of energy, and it's growing over years. And even the past few years, there has been a tremendous growth in the amount of energy that's being used. So even in the past 4 years, it grew from 2/3 to almost 3/4 of the total electricity consumption, and from 1/3 to almost half of the total primary energy use. And also the emissions from buildings are equal to industry and transportation together. We are so dependent on fossil fuels that during one day, we are actually using what nature needed 10,000 days to produce. Few words about the Polish Green Building Council. It was initially started at the end of 2006. And it was legally founded in 2007, obtained its legal registration 11 months later. And in February 2008, we became an emerging member of the World Green Building Council. And 2 years later, we became an established member of the World GBC. PLGBC is an NGO dedicated to promoting sustainable design, construction, and operations in Poland. And our mission is to positively influence the entire market by implementing and promoting the rule of triple responsibility. We couldn't exist without our founding companies. And at the moment, we have 15 of them. 2 other ones are scheduled to join actually next week. We have 47 members, 34 candidates who already submitted applications, and we're speaking with a number of other companies. And all that couldn't happen without the support and help of a great organization, which is World GBC, and which we are an established member of. In July of 2009, we conducted a survey about the current situation of green buildings in Poland, and we have about 120 respondents. And the major findings were that the current green building market in Poland is less than 5%. However, everyone is optimistic, and they expect to at least double it in the next few years. The main focus is on energy efficiency and also on the use of renewable energy. Unfortunately, healthy materials, indoor air quality, and water are not as important, but this is something that PLGBC will try to influence. And also, almost half of the respondents claim that they use some sort of renewable energy in their projects. And solar and wind and geothermal are the most popular ones. About a quarter of all respondents said that they were familiar with the rating systems enough to actually answer the questions, and LEED is the most popular system in the country, followed by BREEAM and by EU Green Building, which is a European energy efficiency program. Our market is at the moment so small because of a number of obstacles, and everyone claims that the higher real or actually perceived cost is the major obstacle, but also lack of client interest and lack of familiarity with the green building industry. And because there is this insufficient knowledge and lack of experience, PLGB is actually introducing a huge amount of trainings and educational activities to make the market transformation happen. So we are trying to build public awareness, and we provide also free education at various conferences. We partner up with Action Creation. It's like a live design competition for architects. We are organizing green building nights, basically almost monthly, and we also do a lot of communication through publishing of articles and newsletters and other communication. We structure member committees so we can have input from the industry, and also we organize a large number of events, and we also participate in them. We are working on the education program for green building professional, which actually hopefully will become a European program, and also training sessions and green materials directory. Of course, we feel that in order to make the market understand and meet the changes, actually use rating systems, and because there is a lot of greenwashing going on in the market, and also it's a very complex issue. So in order to be able to differentiate between the 200 criteria that are in the sustainable market, we are using rating systems, and in Poland we've decided to be a one-stop shop for everyone interested in sustainability, and at the moment we are promoting both major rating systems, LEED and BREEAM, and also we are the national contact point for EU Green Building. So currently in Poland, there is 20 registered and certified LEED projects. There is 16 LEED credentialed professionals. 3 of the projects are already certified, the Skańska property, Green Branch, which is Deutsche Bank, and also Burgwarden manufacturing plant, which was the first registered project in the country. For BREEAM, there's 12 registered projects and 6 BREEAM assessors, and 11 office buildings. 11 of the projects are office buildings, and 1 is the British Embassy. And for EU Green Building, we have 2 projects by Skańska and also 1 by DNV, and this number is actively growing. So the example of the first LEED project in the country is the Burgwarden turbo and emissions plant. And it's a 60,000 square feet manufacturing and office headquarters for an American company who decided to positively influence our market. And this couldn't, of course, happen if we didn't focus and integrate all of the elements of design, and also if we didn't approach the project with a multidisciplinary interconnection. Because I guess everyone in this room knows that the most potential impact on the project is in the very early stage of the project. So it's very important to bring all of the players together at the very early stage. And this way we can achieve great results with minimum or no additional cost. So we gained most of our points in the sustainable sites category through site selection, through site enhancements, and implementing a number of measures like promoting reduced vehicle use, alternative transportation, we have showers, we have very small parking and changing facilities. Also preferred parking for high occupancy vehicles and low emitting cars. And also we're trying to minimize the development footprint of the project and also reduce the stormwater runoff. Most of the concrete is light colored, and also we have light colored roof to reduce the heat island effect. And also the building received a point for night sky protection through a dramatic reduction of exterior lighting power and installation of full cutoff fixtures. There's an improved building envelope, and also there was an energy modeling performed using eQuest, which is one of the approved programs, and there is 23% of energy reduction, and the number is relatively small because LEED actually takes under consideration all of the energy used within the building, not just the building use of energy, like the energy certificates. And since this was a manufacturing facility, it had huge plug loads and process loads for the factory, so that's why the number is relatively low. There was a number of other measures, including the building was fully commissioning, there was no CFC in the building, daylighting and occupancy controls, and as well as chilled beams, enthalpy recovery system, and low mercury lighting. Also, tremendous reduction in water, which actually was a little bit tricky in the beginning because in Poland there's a different pressure between, it's calculated differently than in the US. So the flow rate is given at a different pressure than in the US, where it's at 80 psi. And also what was new to Poland, we introduced construction waste management to basically recycle or reuse over 80% of the waste. And also LEED focuses on daylighting and views, which were provided for almost all of the occupants. And also the implementation of construction IAQ management plan, which also is a relatively new thing in Poland. And of course, no smoking in the building, and storage and collection of recyclables. This project received all points for innovation, and I think that each good consultant could actually receive all of the points. So the new thing in Poland was occupied education campaign and green cleaning. And that's it for the first project, and this actually is the third project. The second one was Deutsche Bank, and Skanska allowed me to use their presentation. So basically, they as a company are trying to make all of their buildings green, or at least EU green building. And in their green branch, they actually received 29 points, which is enough for LEED CI Silver. And many of them were for location, so central location, underground parking, bicycles, showers, changing rooms. Also commuting together by carpooling, and promotion of bike use, effective use of water, and they achieved 30% of reduction. Also optimization of energy use. They reduced the lighting power density. Also they installed occupancy sensors and daylight sensors, also the very new building management system, and also used Energy Star building products. Also a good selection of materials. Many of them were local or from recycled materials. And indoor air quality was also very important for the building. Innovation, they received 3 innovation points, and what actually was quite new to me, I learned that you can get an innovation point for being a member of our council, which I think is great news. And they also decided not to travel. That's why there's no one from Skanska here, because they try to reduce their emissions. And lastly, a few minutes about the financials of green buildings. They were already discussed by Jerry, but I just wanted to add a little bit to this. For many developers and owners, they have the same approach to both green and regular buildings, and the major issues that they are focusing on is the payback time, projected income, and investment risk. And the main obstacle, which were quoted in our survey and also in many other ones, is the higher first cost, either perceived or actual, different budget accounting, no life cycle costing, and also lack of this public awareness. According to the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, people perceive green buildings as 17% more costly than regular buildings. But as a fact, and it's actually proven by a number of studies, the newest one is by Greg Katz, who analyzed 170 buildings in the US, 10 outside of the US, and found that there is basically no significant difference in the cost of green building and non-green buildings. And the premium is actually very, very low. So I did a little bit of calculations. It's in PLN, but you also can see it in dollars. So there's the average additional cost is between $3 to $9 per square feet. But if you do a life cycle analysis of a building with taking into account the energy savings and water savings and other provided by green building, is actually that you can gain $53 to $71 per square foot. So the return is tremendous. And also similar analysis were performed at Harvard, where you can see, on this picture you can see the light gray are non-green buildings, and all of the ones in color are LEED certified at certain level, and there is no significant difference between the cost of them. So there are many buildings which were not certified, which were more expensive than platinum buildings, for instance. And also, as we can see in the scale range, buildings which are renovated are overall more expensive than buildings which are new construction. And a similar study by Davis Langton, another world authority, very similar results. And also another important point also discussed briefly earlier during today is that the original cost of the project is very small in relation to the operation cost and also to the staff cost. So if we can increase the productivity, and again there's a number of studies proving that the productivity increases between 1 and 16%. If we only take 1%, we still can see that after 50 years of the use of the building not only pays back all of its green features, but also pays the entire cost of the building with a premium from the savings of the actual green building. And green building industry grows even during the recession. 30%, or actually I had some quotes today, there is more. And yeah, we should definitely focus on green buildings and green building councils, which are focused to deliver benchmarks and methods. There is exponentially growing interest and also the success through the triple responsibility. And that's all for me. Thank you.